You keep saying that you want to do all of these things, but for some reason, like you're not willing to make any sacrifices. So, how is it ever going to happen if you're not willing to give anything up? Team, my name is Mel. Welcome to Team U Finance. If this is the first time you're joining me, please comment, like, subscribe, and share the content. So, today's topic is sacrifice or sacrificing. So, you have all of these things that you want to accomplish, all these things you want to buy, all these places that you want to travel to, all these investments that you want to start putting money into, but you're not making any sacrifices. So, how is it going to work? So, one of the first things that I learned in life was about sacrificing. And let me explain to you how I learned about sacrificing. Now, again, when I was in my 20s, I didn't really care about money. After I finished college, I was making a little change, just wanted to enjoy my life, wanted to party, eventually get married, have a family, etc. Wanted to do what every normal 20-year-old or 20 something year old did at the time. But then after you finish your 20s, you go into your 30s, you start having a family, life happens, and the way you used to spend money before, you cannot spend money the same way. Because now, especially if you have a family or you're trying to accomplish certain things, you have to start putting away money and you have to start giving up certain things that you like. Hence, this is where the sacrificing starts. So, when did I really learn about sacrificing? When I decided that I wanted to be a homeowner, that's when I started sacrificing things. In other words, I started giving up things that I loved, or I gave up some of the things that I loved, or I cut back on a few things. And the sacrificing, it wasn't like big things. It didn't mean that like I wouldn't go on a vacation anymore, or I wouldn't go and buy myself some clothes. But I started small. I actually crawl before I walk. What I did was I did some simple little things like literally cut back going to get Dunkin' every day or Starbucks every day. Instead of going every single day, I did some simple little things like just maybe going once or twice a week. You'd be amazed if you just literally open up like a little side account. I mean, you got to open it with something profitable. You open a little account, and the money that you would have spent at your favorite coffee shop, if you literally just add it up in the week and make a deposit and put that money into that little savings account that you opened, you'd be amazed how much money you save. So what I did was I literally stopped indulging in so many things that I liked. I also learned how to, start doing a lot of routines at home for myself. Started learning how to, basically take care of my skin at home, how to, take care of my nails at home, how to, do my pedicures, etc. I gave up a few things. I still did those things, but I treated myself every once in a while because I knew that I had a mission and I had a goal. I had something that I wanted to accomplish. Now, I was also saving, towards getting the home and so forth. But at the end of the day, after paying all my bills and even cutting any donuts, so that wasn't really making any type of growth. I wasn't saving as much as I wanted to. So hence, I said to myself, I said, I got to sacrifice and I got to cut back on a few more things that I really like. And that's what I did. In order for you to get the things that you want, if it's not moving as fast as it is, you have to make sacrifices. You got to cut back. For example, if you take 3 vacations a year, you go on 3 trips, you fly out 3 times a year, you go to 3 beautiful islands a year, why not just do one? Just do one. Or even if you decide that you're going to, cut everything down, do something local. Find fun things to do in your neighborhood or around. There are so many things that you can do that'll help you to keep a dollar back in your pocket. Some of you can't make sacrifices because you're using your hard earned money to fund other people's quests. And what I mean by that is that although you're working hard and people are coming to you because, again, you're doing well, but you still haven't gotten what you want because you have made your sacrifices, they're coming to borrow and beg money from you. You got to tell them no. You don't have to explain to a person why you're trying to do something different or you're trying to, work towards a goal or what growth you're trying to accomplish. You just got to say no. You know in your mind that you're making certain sacrifices, you're doing certain things to have that come up. You got to start giving up some things that you love, that you feel that you need. Because in the reality, you don't really need certain things. Another sacrifice that a lot of people need to make is all those subscriptions that people are subscribed to. Okay? Nothing wrong with, having your movie subscriptions, having your gym membership, etc. But find other ways to have entertainment or to entertain yourself, because you know that it's not forever. You know that if let's say you gave up, your next Netflix account this year, it's only 1 year. It's only 6 months or a year that you need to save a little bit of money so you could buy what you want to buy. That money that you was paying for the subscriptions, you could just easily put it into another savings account and save towards that goal. But you're going to have to want to do it. You're going to have to want to make that sacrifice. And it should not be something that's on a table that people have to go back and forth with you and argue with you about. Because you know that there's a success, there's a reward for you in the end. If you're saving towards, buying that home or getting that car that you wanted so long, you're going to have to make some sacrifices. And sacrifices might mean that you might not be able to go in the stores and buy new clothes every month. You're just going to have to recycle some things. But in the long run, you know that what you're going to gain, what you are saving towards, is bigger and even better than the little things that you gave up. So the point of what I'm saying to you today is that, listen, aim for what you want, work towards it, but start by sacrificing. Start by giving up some things, and whatever you give up, that money that you would have spent on those things, put it somewhere else towards the goal that you really want to accomplish. This is the first time you're joining me. My name is Mel. Again, this is Team U Finance. Team, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Really do appreciate you supporting the channel. You just have to learn to give up a few things. And when you give up a few things, I know it's going to hurt and it's going to take away, that self-gratification that you always felt. But just remember, you're giving up now to gain in the long run. So you will win. You will become successful. You will accomplish it. You know how wonderful you're going to feel? For example, if you're trying to save to buy that house and when you get them keys and you just drive up and you open your door, now you don't have no furniture in that new house. You don't have anything in that house, but you got your name on your deed and it's yours. So that 1 year that you gave up your coffees, or you gave up not going out as much, or you gave up, instead of 5 vacations, you only had one, it was well worth it. Think about that. That 1 year of sacrifice is going to give you 30 years of building equity and seeing your biggest asset, if anything. So it was well worth it. Again, if this is the first time you're joining me, this is Mel. Welcome to Team U Finance. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Another thing that I wanted to point out is that many times when you're making sacrifices, you need to explain that to anybody. Don't explain what you're doing. If they come and they ask you, oh, I don't see you going out as much. Oh, I don't see you, with your new sneakers. I don't see you with a different car this year because you always get a new car every 2 years. You don't need to explain anything to anybody. Just keep doing what you're doing. In actuality, they're glad that you stopped buying the things that you bought. They're glad that you're sacrificing because they think that you're going downhill. But little do they know that you're actually working on something bigger and better. So as I said, as I always encourage people, keep on working on what you're working, stand strong, and make those sacrifices because your payday is bigger. It's absolutely bigger than what you have now. And with that said, beautiful people, have a wonderful, wonderful day. I thank you for investing your time and listening to this video. See you next one. Bye.